Hello my good students, welcome back to our Total Domination campaign on War on the Sea. Just a very quick announcement before we do begin this video. I want to clear up I've had a few comments recently, or quite a lot of comments recently, asking if I'm going to be trying the new Pacific Campaigns mod for War on the Sea. And short answer, absolutely ruddy bloody yes I am. I can't wait to play that mod. I was made aware of it on its release day by a couple of people on my Discord server. Very big thank you to you guys, and of course Apollinaire Ashlander for you as well for making me aware of that. I am absolutely going to play that after this series. I'd be playing it right now if I could, but I do have the previous version of the game installed at the moment, simply because that's what I was playing on when we started this series, and then the game got updated I think a week or so later. So that's just how it is, unfortunately. If I updated now, we'd lose this series, unfortunately. It's just how it is. Unfortunate, but it will happen. I assure you it will happen. So let's go into the strategic map now and get straight into the game, see what we can do. Okay, so once again, because we have just loaded in the game, it's time to hunt every single submarine that we can find on the map. We're just going to start off with a few lightnings here to get rid of the ones around Port Moresby. It does appear that that's one over here, wouldn't turn up otherwise. We do have one just over here and one just outside of New Georgia. Can we launch anything? Really want to get rid of this one first because it's right in the middle of all of our shippy ships over here. So we're actually going to take, I think, some bow fighters out from here with some rockets. Try for that. And then we'll send some lightnings out from here to deal with this particular submarine. We do have one over to the north of Melissa as well. Going to take just 4 lightnings once again from there, and they can deal with that. So straight from the previous video, we are bringing the Shangri-La right to Guadalcanal, so it can reach north of Guadalcanal and help our task forces out if need be over here. We do of course have our New Mexico thirsty for a surface engagement over here. We do have some reinforcements coming up towards that in the form of 2 county heavy cruisers and a crown colony, I believe, the Birmingham. Imagine calling a ship Birmingham, such a shithole of a place. And yeah, that would be brilliant for that. We do of course have the Iowa as well, still thirsty for a surface engagement. You know what, I think here on in, that's what we're going to be looking for, because this is our 20th video, I believe, in this series. No true surface engagement yet. I do apologise. I promise I'm just as thirsty as you are, especially since we have 2 battleship groups out now. It's just something we can't really afford to waste, since we are removing a lot of ships here recently. We've really thinned down the light cruisers, a lot of the destroyer escorts and that as well, and it will only be a matter of time before we get hold of the majority of their heavy cruisers now, since that is pretty much what's left. The heavy cruisers and half of their battleships, I suppose, do still have the 2 Yamatos to come out, but they will presumably be spending quite a while in the dry dock, unfortunately. So let's carry on with that. Not so bothered about the supply ships at the moment, to be honest. I do want to get rid of these submarines with our planes at the moment, and we can look at these supply ships later while we start scouting. Speaking of scouting, we should have some Kingfishers available in this particular group. So let's launch out some aircraft here. Let's move the UI over so we can do that a little better. And we'll just do some short range scouts around here. And we will continue, where's the icon there, with some from the New Orleans here as well. Let's go straight out, short range scouts with the Kingfishers. No need to alert any airfields to them exactly. And let's send out just a couple more, I think. We are sending out Wildcats as well, but since we're sending out these Kingfishers, we can recall some Wildcats in case of an emergency. I think that'll do for now. Let's carry on. Okay guys, it's been the turn of a full day, and in that time we've only really sighted destroyer patrols and cargo ships. We did decide to sink 1 or 2 cargo ships in that time, but I didn't fancy showing you. How many times have you seen me sink cargo ships in this series? You can probably count on many hands how many times I've seen that. But we've been sighting a few very strange, it looks like dive bombers coming out of just about nowhere. So it's quite a very special time because it looks like we have spotted the final I-400, which is excellent news for us. We're going to go straight down and try and take that on. Will be a massive threat taken out once we get rid of this, because I-400s are just absolutely horrible. They can fire so many torpedoes, and of course their scouting aircraft are that much more aggressive, technically counting as dive bombers. And they do only have 3 of them, of course, on the deck, but it's just 3 too many, of course, and 3 too many actual I-400s. So we're just going to tell our Lightnings here to go straight in and attack that. We are armed with rockets on the off chance that we found something on our patrols, and of course we did. Look at this beast of a submarine. Very lucky. So we have sighted, I think, all of them now. Either because we got lucky when we started the game and managed to spot one, and now because we decided to follow around its patrolling aircraft. It's not even bothered to submerge itself just yet either, which is absolutely brilliant for us. It's such a massive target. It is only just bothering now, which is brilliant. It's far too late, my friend. You're going home. Just a little too early there, I think. You shall not complete your mission there. It is submerging now though. Gonna get some sort of hits on there just as it goes down. Let's take a report critical to critical, so we should just be able to wait that out there. I'm gonna fast forward, and there you go, it is going down. Moment of silence please as we leave. Excellent stuff. Really good. Oh, we did sight a single aircraft there actually. Possibly just one of its scouts there, but you can see yeah, this is one of the dive bombers that was sending out there, the Sirens I believe they send out, which was scouting out our supplies and such. So it's very important we took that out. Otherwise not much has been going on. Got the 2 submarines I showed you previously. Didn't manage to get the one that was around our ships over here, but we've been scouting out and not seen anything just yet, which is rather a bother actually. Would like to know exactly where that is. But otherwise we're coming very close to getting some supplies on Milne Bay, and we're going to get our task force over here to meet up with New Mexico, and that would be a very nasty fighting force indeed. So let's carry on. Okay, so no sooner had I finished that little report just then that we actually find another task force, and this does appear to be a sizable one here. Possibly a Congo from what we can see just at the moment. Let's take a quick look. No, okay, it's the Nagato we saw previously, and this is actually rather interesting because we did of course see the Nagato with a Fuso and Hiyo, which means they've split up once again. We also have a Furutaka and a Takao, interesting, and of course lots and lots of supplies. Okay, so where we spotted this is actually just south of the Shortland Islands. I'm thinking this could be our surface engagement. I really think it could be. However, I get the feeling this is possibly another Kamikaze Maru, and I do want to take out the Nagato here. So we're actually going to focus the Nagato and then go in for a surface engagement. It's just because the Nagato does have some very sizable 410mm guns. Rather nasty indeed. It will batter our Iowa if it does manage to hit. So that's what we're going to try and go in for. Otherwise, not particularly a very threatening task force, to be honest. We do have a Yugamo Sashio Kagero over here. We have a Katsuki over here. And we have a Hatsuharu over here, which is very interesting indeed. And a couple of hospital ships. So we're going to mark that, which is just over here. Shouldn't be particularly difficult to do over there, although we have lost sight of things before. Been known to do that, of course. We're going to position the Iowa then. Where do you want to position that to? That's a rather interesting question actually. If we go up here we can get them if they retreat, for sure. But we'll put ourselves in position to get attacked by Buka over here. But I think we really should go, straight for them, to be honest. Because if we faff around and go to the south and through Guadalcanal and then back up, probably not going to hit them there. So let's try and do that. We've also got the Essex, remember, over here. Going to push that up just a tad. And that can send out some fighters and such to begin with. Send out 1 or 2 just for scouting. Like so here, just with no armament and that, so they have maximum fuel, and like I say, just for scouting before they get into our radar range there, if that is indeed where they're going. We're also then going to send out, I think we'll start with Mitchell's, and we'll go for 2 1.6 thousand pound bombs there. Just for volume of armament is the thinking there. What sort of float planes do we really have? We do have some Catalinas and Mariners. Might as well go for some bombs as well there. We'll go for 4 1,000 pounders. Once again, oh, they are sat bombs. We should be alright there. We should be fine to hit the Nagato there with that. And we'll carry on, scout us out, and try and go for the surface engagement now, I think. Really want this. It's not particularly threatening as well. I really think this task force can deal with it fairly handily. They do have somewhat damaged Pensacola. It's got 2 generals components permanently destroyed. That's not a problem. A little bit of light damage on the Portland, but I think we'll be absolutely okay otherwise. Can't really remember where this has come from, to be honest. I think it's when I skipped over a single Minakaze in the previous video, decided to take on our whole force here. So it's taken a little pitter-patter, little peppering from a Minakaze, but nothing major there. So let's keep going. Okay, well, there's just been no sign of that once again. I had our Mitchells right on top of it, but I decided to wait for the Mariners to come in to strike that Nagato. Apparently that was a mistake, because right under our nose it disappeared. Wouldn't believe it, would you? Just vanished. So we've moved our Iowa up with some aerial scouts to look for that, but that does mean that we're now under attack from the Buka based planes and such. So we do have some Donryus over here and some more over here. We have brought in some Wildcats from the Wasp to our rear. Going to start turning, I think, with Missouri, which is going to obviously bring our flak round and hopefully protect us just a tad better. We are on the Tango formation here to make sure that our Missouri is protected in a circular formation there. So we're just going to try and turn round with our Wildcats and get on to these aircraft over here before they get into bombing position for us. That is the plan anyway. Never know, do you? I'm sure they get the drop off eventually. But we need to make sure that is not going to be the case. So everyone to go straight on them. We've got some singular Wildcats. Those will be from scouting. That's not a problem at all. Send a couple over here from this squad and a couple over here to this one, as the remainder some reinforcements there to help them out. See if that works. Donner is of course carrying some rather hefty bombs, and they are very close to our formation, which means they're not going to get a lot of time through our flak, which does work in their favour, of course. But luckily we decided to bring in some Wildcats. Hopefully we get over to shoot before they drop. Doesn't look like it. What does it look like they're going for, actually? I wouldn't say they're going for the Brooklyn over here. Doesn't look like they're too bothered about the Missouri either. These ones, probably not either, actually. That's not the right lead for the Missouri either. I'd like to be able to figure this out before they drop. Looks like they're going for a destroyer, actually, which is rather interesting. And that is turning anyway. You see our Wildcats just don't quite have the firepower to make a very strong run on these Donryus here. It does look like they're going for destroyers, which is a very interesting choice indeed. There's only the one Donryu now, so it has dropped. Try and break with this and just turn a little harder there then. Has gone down by the sounds of it. Let's wait for this bomb to drop in the name of fairness. And there it is. Did that do any splash damage? No, it did not. Excellent stuff. So that should be that particular group done with. Yep, 6 out of 6. Excellent. So yeah, we are stationed here. We are in range, of course, of Bougainville, but that does not have a airfield on it. So we are waiting for Buka. So that's 2 loads of Donryus. We should be expecting some nails and perhaps some fighters off of there as well. Like I said, we are scouting out with other aircraft. We do have a few more Kingfishers coming off of this group as well. Where are we? Over here. Let's send out some more, just in case they're not in the right position there. Let's send them out over here and to our flank, like that. Do have one coming out to the north here and another one turning around in this sort of scouting pattern. Did bring out some lightnings. I think they've gone back to base for now, armed with bombs, and of course the Mitchells have gone back as well. Once again, really disappointing. Should have just gone in. That is my fault. Should have just gone in with the Mitchells when we were right on top of that Nagato. But I thought, you know what? Let's bring all of our aircraft in. Might be a bit better if we do that. That was a plan in the first place. But no, just decided to vanish. So that's really unfortunate. We are going to take these supplies on to Milne Bay then. And let's see where that leaves us. May have miscalculated that a tad. Yeah, just need a little more engineering and fuel there once again. That's absolutely fine. That's what these supplies are coming in for over there. We even have some fuel and such left over, I believe. That's not a problem. The idea here is actually to take both of these supply groups then and send everything over to Buna once we can. Do we have anything in the name of... it is just supplies and engineering, few troops there. That's not a problem there. These will just come in and pick up what this group can't then, and we'll start invading Buna as well. So let's carry on. Fingers crossed we find that Nagato, really. Okay, so once again, just no sign of that Nagato just yet. We are scouting out with New Mexico Task Force as well as Iowa and Plains. But on the way to Buka, we have been intercepted by all of these surrounding aircraft, but by the looks of it, we do have some lightnings from Port Moresby, and we're bringing up some Kissy Hawks to the rear as well. So what we've got some Toryus, we've got some... Ooh, I haven't seen geckos for ages. That is brilliant stuff. Okay, cool. Somewhat nasty cannon mounts. We do, of course, have some bombs on them as well. Bring these lightnings first over to the Toryus over here. Does look like we've attracted all of these surrounding airfields as well, so there will be a lot of air incursions today by the looks of it. Rather nasty stuff indeed. Really need to keep on top of this, to be honest, and we might actually decide to send in some Wildcats from the Wasp as well. That would be rather useful, if I may say so myself. A bit of a no-brainer there, really, especially since rather horribly cheesy. I've not again managed to fix the invincible aircraft bug, which does affect Zeros and Wildcats, so that will work to our advantage then, but still not overly pleased to use that. There is only so much cheese and cheatsy you can take, really. We do have some... Is that another group of geckos? I think we've already sighted them. Just coming back into sight there by the sounds of it. I know it's just... We've seen a scout over here. No worries there. Looks like the Tory is going down for the air engagement now. Not so worried about our supplies just yet. Now they've seen the lightnings there. Will make it a tad more difficult now that we do have to dogfight properly. It's trying to adjust our speeds, so we're getting the tighter turns off and such. See if we can get some opening fire to get him into our range there. No, that's just a waste. They've decided to auto out though. We have downed a couple aircraft very quickly there though. Very nice indeed. Let's see if we can get this last Tory over here, and that will free up the lightnings. Excellent. What did we down over here then? Must have downed some sorts of geckos. Let's form up these first lightnings once again. Tell them to increase altitude and such. I bet there's more stuff coming in. Probably just these scouts actually. So it is probably just the scouts and geckos to begin with here. Let's try and get these Toryus over, these lightnings over on this particular aircraft, the number 5, and we'll try and help out over here, like so, with a couple more lightnings like that, I think. How are we looking over here? Right on their tails, but geckos, of course, do have tail gunners, which is rather a threat to our lightnings, of course, the longer we stay on their rear. So I'm expecting perhaps to lose a couple of lightnings here. Do take down a gecko, though, which is very useful. And once again, another one down. Do see more scouts come in. Our Kissy Hawks going for those. We might as well take those down. But now that we can see on this strategic map how many aircraft have been launched towards us, I think it would be too late to deal with those scouts. But we are in radar range of Buka anyway, so I'm not sure it makes a lot of difference, to be honest. Let's see, are we targeting anything properly here? Let's see if we can get on the back of this number 7 with a couple more lightnings. Try and go around here. Being a bit stupid and taking the 2D view of the map on a 3D fight. It does help visualise things a little better in my mind. So we can get this gecko over here. There we go. So that just leaves one, I believe. Should just be this one over here. So we can jump over to that. Really nice model on this gecko design, actually. Really pleased with that. Very, very nice indeed. Shame we don't see them quite so often. So I don't generally push up to this area when I play the US. Half the reason we decided to do the Total Domination campaign, because we will see attacks in different places. There we go, that's down. Okay, have our Kitty Hawks decided? No, they're just flying over here without using. It's interesting that Firewall doesn't work when you want it to. Might as well get rid of these though. Just tactically sound to get rid of scouts, of course. But it does feel like I've been recording for quite some time today, and this is really all we've got, action-wise. Just very disappointed I didn't go for that attack on the Nagato with those Mitchells. Could have got into that once again after striking that, but oh well. It will pop back up. It will pop back up. It does look like it was just dropping supplies off at Shortland Islands then, because it did decide to retreat away from that once it had gone round there. But it had decided to retreat towards Bougainville and such, rather than go to the east side of that. Go straight to Rabaul. Which I'm very strange, very weird that we haven't picked that up again. Very, very strange indeed. It has been quite some time since we last saw that. We have got extensive scouting out now, in case it does pop up. Just waiting on this Jake, really. Nothing to really catch up with it. Very lucky to have not lost a lightning just yet. Very, very lucky indeed, because he did spend quite some time in the gecko's tail gunner fire, and we can see that we are smoking quite a bit. So very, very likely to lose a lightning, either to this Jake actually, with the tail gunner. Just can't quite get in here, can we? Let's start opening out very quickly with this Kitty Hawk. There we go. And very likely we'll lose a lightning in the next engagement. You can see all of the aircraft here. The dive bomber, very interesting. Must be from Cape Gloucester over here, since it's mixed. Interesting choice. There's a level 4 airfield there and a level 4 on Cape Hoskins. Interesting. Interesting. It's going to be very tough. Very, very tough. We do still have a lot of daytime hours left. Let's bring the Wasp around so that we don't have to waste so much fuel on any future Wildcat flights. And we might bring the Iowa soon. Possibly bombard Buna, but it is only a level 1 airfield here. I'm thinking really of bombarding Lie if it does come to it. I don't think we need to bombard Buna at all. We shouldn't be too stocked up there. We have destroyed a lot of cargo shipping in this area. And I remember in my first US series, we did take this within the first few episodes. It wasn't too bad, so it should be okay here. It just depends exactly what we have on our supply ships there. We have left Milne Bay pretty much bare once again, but it is now a level 3 port, which is very, very useful indeed. So let's carry on and engage this aircraft. Alrighty guys, we have a massive, massive air engagement here. We are certainly going to take hits for sure. We have loads and loads of Vals, quite likely 9 Vals over here. We have some Emilys over here, another group of Emilys, and we have some Nels in the distance here. This is a lot of aircraft to deal with. We do have some reinforcing boat fighters from Milne Bay. We're going to lay smoke, of course, decrease our speed a tad so that we stay in the smoke, but we are going to break with everyone and tell them to just not full speed, but just turn round into these Emilys here, so we're already on that, I think, just to make sure that we do start some sort of evasion there. We're going to turn around different directions with people, make sure we're going in like that, I think, just to see where we are going here. This is really, really going to hurt if they start landing any bombs. We need to decide exactly where we're going with our planes as well. We are somewhat battered from previous defences. Hopefully we can get these Vals with the Kitty Hawks, I'm thinking. Do have a hell of a lot of planes to deal with here, a hell of a lot indeed. Probably the most danger I've ever been in, personally, from air attacks like this. From airfield-based aircraft anyway. Let's try and get a spare Kitty Hawk, I think, to deal with this last vow here. And these bow fighters can go straight on to the Emilys over here. Bow fighters probably the more ideal plane to deal with the Emilys because of the Emily's armour and the bow fighters, just mass amount of guns that they have. Let's go onto these over here as well. Let's try and thin them down. There's no way we're going to stop all of these Emilys before they drop, I think. It's going to be very, very difficult indeed. The Lightnings can certainly turn around and try and help out as well, but I don't feel that we're going to be able to do that in time once again. It's going to be very, very difficult indeed. Going to send out a couple of Lightnings as well to deal with the Nels, so that we can do that early, I think. So let's send out this group of Lightnings. Once again, we'll go full speed, but we'll go down to torpedoing altitude and go straight down towards these Nels and deal with them in just a minute. See how we do with these bow fighters over here. It's going to be very, very tough indeed. Do they need to climb a little actually? It's looking like they do. Doesn't look like they're trying either. It's rather frustrating there, I must say. How do we against these vows? We're going to start opening out. No, not even facing this group because we're not targeting that particular one there. Did miss the one pass. It's the one pass that we really need as well. So we're not going to have time to turn back round on them. Does it like, yep, they're diving over here. Oh dearie dearie dear, oh dearie dearie dear. The Emilys are dropping as well, all of them in fact. It does look like they're going for a destroyer, which is a little more preferable here. It does look like the Vals are dropping over here. And luckily the first group largely missing there. Very, very lucky indeed, but we're finally getting some planes downed. Where did those bombs drop over here? But just here, it doesn't look like we've taken any hits actually on this destroyer. Very, very useful indeed. We're going to have to increase its speed there though, just so it doesn't turn into our own ship there. Not getting any reports of any extra bomb hits there. We have downed a lot of planes. Have we? Did we just win? Did we just win? Do I tell our ships to stop turning? Interesting. Maybe I should do that then. Can I tell them what to cease now? If there was just a halt order, that would be great. So let's just tell everyone over here then to just stop. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I think we were very, very lucky there that the Emilys, or the majority of the Emilys, decided to go for destroyer actually, just because it's a thinner target, more manoeuvrable, and of course it doesn't have the supplies on it for the invasion. That saved us there, and we've saved in the fact that the Vals didn't manage to get a magazine destination on our supply ship either. Although I do believe it's going for a Cimarron as well, so taking hits on that. We haven't actually decided to target this yet. I've forgotten, getting too excited. Let's go for that. Doesn't look like we're going anyway. And also attack there. No worries. Let's make sure we split these up so we can go for all of these nails. With at least one fighter there each. Yeah, very interesting. Very, very lucky, actually. Very, very lucky. That was all luck, no skill, that evasion. So I will take it. We have sighted something else though, and are we? Yep, we're very much out of position there. Very, very much out of position. Do have some Hayabusa's. Was not expecting that. Where are these Lightnings? Let's pull these up, just because they're in order here. It's going to take quite a while to come back round them, unfortunately. So let's get... we have some Kitty Hawks over here, which are towards the flank, unfortunately. Let's try and get these back up to attack these particular planes here. So we're still going to stay in smoke with our ships. Did we actually down the nails here? Not quite all of them. There we go. So now we should be also going over to the Hayabusa's, the mass amount of Hayabusa's over here. Let's start dealing with these. Let's see, what are they up to? Looks like they're probably going for the dogfight first, which does suit me just fine. Okay. Just move around some of our planes so we're not all focusing, not all tunnel visioning on one there. There's a lot of hybrids about now though. Should be okay there. Let's see, can we move over fast forward to that? We can. Yeah, they're going for the dogfight rather than dropping bombs. That's absolutely fine. We are still in thick smoke, but the wind blowing the smoke away actually. Is anyone else going for the number one here? Yep, there we go. Excellent stuff. Have we all changed our orders regardless? That's the question. That is the question. This one not even actually going for anyone. Rather interesting. Can we get this as we climb up? Not quite. No worries. Does look like we may have changed a few of our orders regardless. Some planes not actually doing anything, just following waypoints there, which is rather unfortunate. So let's see if we can sort that out. So many planes on the map though, I can't even see the enemies. Oh dear. Let's go in like that. Yeah, no targets on some of these, which is just detrimental. Let's try and go in for this over here. Not entirely sure. Are they just climbing? Yeah, okay, if they're just climbing, we might just leave this. They're clearly retreating. We've had this before. They just climb and just climb. There's not a lot of points in chasing them. And you know what? If that's what they're doing, I'm going to leave them to it. Let's just come out and take the victory there. 22 aircraft downed in that particular engagement. And we lost none, surprisingly. Very, very lucky. Very, very lucky indeed, actually. So, on the map, it looks like it is just this group over here. I imagine that's probably Nels. We're very, very close to Buna over here as well. So let's carry on, see if we can get that. Well, here they are, all of the Nels. Let's once again see, they do have torpedoes, don't they? Excellent. Let's go down to their bloody level. Let's go full speed down 20 meters once again with these lightnings. Before we forget, let's target that group without telling them to attack once again. We do find this is quite the effective tactic here. Probably don't need to go full speed, we'll probably beat them down there. That's absolutely fine. Let's go straight down then over to that with the second group over here. Come on over like so, do the same again. Should be all good there. We'll tell some bow fighters to come down once again for the final group there, and they can come at 20 meters as well. And that should be bloody good. I get the feeling there's going to be more to this fight though. There's more on the strategic map. Looks like some dive bombers have come out of nowhere as well. So we're actually going to tell some bow fighters to go to our rear, just in case. We'll send some Kitty Hawks as well, although they are retreating by the looks of it, probably run out of fuel, which does not surprise me. They do have very limited fuel on Kitty Hawks. Yeah, there we go. We can see the nails coming down now. Tell our planes to attack from the bottom up of their formations, because otherwise they will focus. Does this one not have a target? Not a problem. Otherwise they'll focus on the target of the number one plane there, like this one. Let's go in again with this group. We'll go from 8 onwards. If we attack, no, it doesn't have a target on that one. Let's attack, attack, attack. There we go. Bow fighters can do the same. Doesn't have a... I'm not giving orders to the number 4. That's absolutely fine. Are only 3 nails in the squad there. There we go. Look at that. So many of them. But we're quite likely to lose some planes here as well because of all the tail gunner fire. You can see that we're smoking as well. We have already downed a couple. That's the first group dealt with. Really liking the use of this tactic actually. It does mean we get a decent one pass a lot of the time on these nails here. Very, very useful indeed, rather than chasing round their tail gunner fire. So just hope these bow fighters get a decent one pass. Should be okay. No, there we go. That's that. One more nail that we missed earlier. But it is quite away from our ships. Have lost a lightning there, unfortunately. Can't quite get the aim on it, but it doesn't look like anything's coming from our rear. So let's just leave out of that, shall we? And that should be it. Yeah, we can see some more supply ships over here. Some sort of dive bombers here, but we are so close to Buna now. Shouldn't take too long to land on there. And that will do it for today, folks. Okay, so luckily those dive bombers did actually retreat in the end. Must have run out of fuel, and we had just one little engagement with some Hayabusas, just a group of 3 that came in. We'd managed to down them very easily, so we should be in range to dump off all of our troops and such now. Where are we? Let's go to this group. These have got the troops on them. Let's go to unload cargo, and we'll unload cargo from this group as well. How are we looking? 4.9 thousand troops and 9.9 supplies, and the balance of power is already slightly in our favour. That is excellent news. Really good indeed. Wasn't quite expecting it to be so clear cut already. Not that it's overly clear. We are going to have to go all the way back to the New Hebrides though, to get more troops and such for the next invasion, just because don't have loads really going on at the cairns. We've got a lot of supplies. Actually, that'll probably be alright actually to take those off of there. We could even just wait around to get resupplied again for the next invasion. So let's go to the cairns with both groups. Very useful having the second home base here that gets resupplied. That is a massive strength that you have in the American campaign here. But unfortunately that is going to be it for today, everyone. I've been recording for about 2 hours now. 2 hours of recording, and because we missed that Nagato, so we're bloody guessing. But that is again my fault for missing that, unfortunately. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video today. I shall see you in the next one. Hopefully we do get a bloody surface engagement coming round. It's been like 20 videos now and just not had a real meaty surface engagement. So thank you very much for watching. I shall see you in the future. I've been the Edified Gamer, and I hope your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.